plus 20% off all Lazy Boy furniture. Lazy Boy, long live the lazy.
Tomorrow only, Tank World's biggest sale of the year. Save up to $500 off already discounted prices on selected water tanks from our best-selling range. One day only. Once they're gone, they're gone. This Sunday only at Tank World.
A massive blow for Queensland and the Knights, with Caleb Ponga facing an extended stint on the sidelines with a foot injury. Scans confirming the worst today after the Newcastle skipper was forced from the field during his side's 22-18 loss to the Raiders. The Queensland fullback limping post-game, not the sight fans wanted to see.
Well, I think everyone in Newcastle, but also Queensland, will be holding their breath for the superstar Caleb Ponga.
The Knights captain left the field with a foot issue in the 60th minute. Today, scans confirmed the worst, a Liz Frank injury, the same diagnosis which sidelined the fullback for 10 weeks last season.
Fingers crossed for Caleb. Personally, hopefully he's okay.
It gives Billy Slater 2 days to pick a new Queensland fullback for Game 3.
Cuddle with mum there, so that's probably not a great sign. But no mum likes to see their boy injured.
Deciding on a replacement at Clubland will be much harder, with Fletcher Sharp likely ruled out for the season.
Finish it quick. We're at a bye, so we've got some time.
One of many headaches for the Newcastle coach, who had to sit through another scoreless half of football, despite his side having 20 tackles in the Raiders' 20.
They're a good footy team, and they took theirs and we bungled ours in the first half.
Trailing 16-0, the Knights clicked into gear in the second half.
Schiller scores and Newcastle might be back in this one.
Ricky Stewart left wet and worried on the sidelines as his side let the Knights come within 4.
Oh, grandstand finish coming up at McDonald Jones.
But the Raiders weathered the storm to move to the top of the NRL ladder. The last time they were leading the competition this far into a season, round 20 in 2003.
We didn't listen to all the bagging and the criticism, and we won't be listening to the noise now because, there's people out there who still don't believe.
Tom Trbojević's polarising switch to centre could provide the Sea Eagles with the spark they need to save their season. Turbo returned to form in Manly's 28-10 win over the Tigers as outgoing captain Daly Cherry Evans rubbished claims his contract situation has become an unwanted distraction.
The skipper all smiles at full time before club bosses shared a laugh in the sheds. The mood much improved at Manly.
It's much better after a win, there's no doubt about that.
Pressure easing on Anthony Seibold, who gave Tom Trbojević a licence to roam against the Tigers. Life in the centres, do you like it?
Yeah, it's good fun. Different challenge. I like to play footy, so to be able to do that, give me the opportunity to do it.
Seen Turbo do that in Origin when he plays at centre, sort of roams the field there. So keeps teams guessing, and we definitely needed that, more of a spark in attack in that second half.
Seibold confirming Tom will remain in the front line against Souths.
The confidence is growing. You're happy to be there for another week or two?
Yeah, I'm happy to do what's best for the team, mate. So, I think I'll be there next week.
Captain Daly Cherry Evans adamant his unknown future isn't impacting his teammates.
Probably not looking to make an announcement anytime soon, to be honest. We've spoken about it as a team, so we definitely don't feel as it's a distraction. I reckon I've got a good understanding of what does and doesn't affect the groups.
As a teammate, has it genuinely distracted you at all?
No, it hasn't distracted me at all. Obviously there must be something to it, I guess, but nothing really.
The 18-point loss was the Tigers' 6th straight defeat.
I thought the last few weeks have been really good. Today was, I reckon, a step backwards.
The club missing Blues 5/8 Jerome Luai, who was hospitalised with an infection.
I'm pretty sure it'll be okay for New South Wales if they pick him, yeah.
Zach Bailey, NBN News.
Nathan Lawson is making the most of his late call-up for the Dragons after Christian Tuipulotu was ruled out of their clash with the Eels, picking up an injury during the warm-up. The Rugby Sevens convert scoring 2 tries as the Red V took a 26-4 lead into half-time. Reece Walsh has shown he's ready to step straight back into the Origin arena, leading the Broncos to a 26-12 win over the Warriors. After plotting against him last year, now Broncos coach Michael Maguire says the answer to Queensland's problem is obvious.
I think Reece is ready. You know, I said that through the week. You know, it's whether or not they decide to go that way. You know, I actually think Reece's footy's getting better.
It's the Broncos' third straight win, and Maguire says they're best of the season. The Swans are aware they're running out of time to ignite their AFL season. Sydney ran down the Western Bulldogs twice, but couldn't stay in front, suffering a 9-point loss that leaves their finals hopes hanging by a thread.
We gave ourselves the opportunity, we just didn't capitalise on it, and that's what cost us in the end. We just couldn't peg it back.
The defeat leaves the Swans 12th on the ladder, 3 wins outside the top 8. Australian cricket captain Pat Cummins says the team's top-order batsmen must change their approach to turn around their form, but has backed them to do so after winning the first test in the West Indies. That includes Sam Constas, who struggled on his return. Cummins says it will take time.
A familiar sight in Australian cricket. A bowling attack tearing through a rival team. This time taking 10 wickets in a session to win the first test against the West Indies.
And the Australians have dominated.
And save the blushes of their top-order batsmen.
Yeah, I thought we might get a decent in rows, but didn't think we'd get 10.
It was a huge turnaround from where Australia started the day. Bo Webster and Travis Head digging in.
Oh, important. Very important indeed.
On a pitch that was falling apart, the pair both made half-centuries, as did Alex Carey when he came to the crease, setting the hosts a target of 301.
Yeah, I thought those three were brilliant. They kept the scoreboard ticking over. Really, that was the difference. It was 50-50, really. Those guys took the game away from West Indies.
Josh Hazlewood certainly played his part too, finishing with 5 wickets.
He's been keeping Scotty bowling out of the side. We know how good Scotty is, so really pumped for Joshy.
A thumping 159-run win. Not enough to cover concerns around the top order.
Of course, the top order would like to score some more runs. I think the challenge of Test cricket is, especially for young players, when you get thrown different conditions, you've got to find a way to be effective. So I think that will be the conversations over the next few days. But no, we back them in.
Sam Constas will be part of those conversations. Selectors are set to give him time to find his feet.
I think Sammy, he tried a few different options yesterday. Not too many of them worked out, but full confidence.
Sam Jordan, NBN News.
After the break, the McLarens are back on top in Austria, and an Aussie team puts the tennis world on notice.
Honey?
We'll be on one salary.
It's not too much of a stretch.
Maybe just leave it, honey. It's all right. You've got this. Let's get this cot home. We probably don't need all these baby clothes.
If you need help wrangling your money, we're right there with you. NAB. More than money. We know owning a car these days isn't cheap. At GIO, you can save 10% of your car insurance premium when you quote and buy a new policy online with GIO's online discount. Get a quote today.
Get $50 off Amy Comprehensive Car Insurance when you quote and buy online. Now that's pretty lucky. Particularly if a bird drops through the open sunroof of your car, causing you to swerve and have a prang. Even though it doesn't feel lucky.
Lucky you're with Amy.
The end of financial year is always the start of something special at Toyota. And with a wide range of vehicles in stock this end of financial year, the feeling starts right here at your local Toyota dealership. Toyota.
With Light and Easy, you're cooking less, eating better, and getting great results. Whether you want to lose weight with our 5 or 7 day Jumpstart Go meal plans, or you just want to enjoy more free time and a healthier life with ready-to-eat, delicious, healthy meals starting from around $8.50 each, Light and Easy's got you covered with flexible options to achieve your goal. Enjoy Australia's best ready-made meal delivery service as awarded by CanStar Blue. Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
It's time to start your business. Time to get customers. Time to make your future now. Create a website in minutes. How? GoDaddy.
Coding? Nah. But all that writing? Nope. AI. Done, built, up and running. You have what it takes. Now take it to the next level. Create a professional website in minutes with GoDaddy.
Let's get to work.
Start for free at godaddy.com.au.
Amazing value. Sleepmaker Smart Rest Deluxe Queen Mattress just $9.99, or the Celia Clay Mash Free Foam Queen Mattress only $14.99. Plus bonus standard local delivery on selected bedding purchases. Best prices guaranteed. Ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
This report brought to you by Harvey Norman. Half-yearly clearance on now. Best brands, best range, best prices. Guaranteed.
After a rough weekend at the Canadian Grand Prix, the McLarens are back on top in Austria. Lando Norris posting the fastest lap time in practice ahead of Australian teammate and F1 Championship leader Oscar Piastri. Mayo Joint is putting the world's best tennis players on notice ahead of Wimbledon next week, moving into the final of the Eastbourne International. The 19-year-old Aussie defeating Russian Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in straight sets in the semis as she eyes off her second career title. One of Australia's newest NBA players is hoping the magic of superstar Steph Curry will help him take his game to the next level. Former Sydney Kings forward Alex Tui was chosen at 52 in this year's draft by the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, it kind of hasn't sunken in yet. Very excited, and it's been a long time coming. Excited to learn from him, and he's obviously the best at what he does in the world, so hopefully get a few pointers.
21-year-old Tui was one of 4 Aussies chosen in the draft. The Pickers recorded a comfortable win over Curry in Newcastle Rugby League today. The Bulldogs arrived in Maitland full of confidence after last week's win over Cessnock, but quickly fell behind on the scoreboard, the game finishing at 24 points to 10. Coffs Harbour's Andrew Campbell will compete in his 11th professional golf season, starting with the PNG Open in August. Before then, he has a string of Pro-Am and New South Wales Open qualifiers to get through.
On the greens today, fine-tuning his short game, which Andrew Campbell admits was a troublesome area for him last season.
My short game and my putting, that seemed to let me down a little bit last year throughout the season. So just focusing on my short putts and my mid-distance putts to sort of make up some strokes on the field.
But with space between tournaments and some dedicated time off recently, the hard work is paying off. The 35-year-old tasting double success in the recent North Queensland Pro-Am series.
I played at Serena. That was a 2-day event. I shot 11 under and won that by 3. And then Mackay was the next event. That was a 2-dayer. I had 4 under, I came 15th, and then the last one was at Pioneer Valley, where I tied for the lead with 6 under.
Those results will hopefully pave the way for a strong start to the upcoming tour.
Just looking forward to it, just continually going out there to see where my game's at and what needs to be improved upon before the tour season starts.
Campbell's next event is a 3-day Rockhampton Pro-Am starting on Thursday, before a string of New South Wales Open qualifiers in Tevan, Lismore, Southwest Rocks and his home course at Coffs.
Very rarely as a golf pro you get to play your home course, so to have an event here, and it's such an amazing place and course, so it's a real privilege, and it's one thing I'd like to knock off the bucket list.
Britt Ramsey, NBN News.
Gunnellabar played host to the Australian Masters Cup Regional Pickleball Championships today. 46 competitors from across the Northern Rivers took part, vying for a spot at next month's state finals.
Serving up in Gunnellabar today, the Australian Masters Cup Regional Pickleball Championships.
They've played a lot of pickleball today.
Players from Fair Dinkum Pickleball, Northern Rivers Pickleball and Grafton Pickleball all coming together, battling it out across 6 divisions.
We've got 46 players here, all vying for a spot in the state finals. So we've got 50 plus, 60 plus and 70 plus, both men's and women's.
3 of the top players from each club were chosen to compete after a long trial phase.
It ran over 10 weeks. You had to play 5 weeks to be able to qualify to get in. But yeah, most of these players have played for the 10 weeks and earned their spot here.
All participants competing with and against each other.
So that way you get a fair average of who is the best player.
That top player progressing through to the state finals to be held in July. A location is yet to be announced.
The top 2 from every age group and division, they go through to the state finals.
Fair Dinkum Pickleball coach Heather Fletcher sharing her secrets to coming out on top.
You can hit the ball hard, but pickleball is all about patience and taking your time.
Monica Adair, NBN News.
Northwest football players will have the opportunity of a lifetime in 2 weeks when English Premier League club West Ham brings its Talent ID camp to Tamworth. They'll host the camp alongside Tamworth side North Companions at the Mara Street Field on July 7 and 8. It's open to boys and girls aged 7 to 16. Sounds like that would be well worth the trip to Tamworth, Jane.
It sure does. Thank you, Jack. Stay with us. We'll check all your local weather details with plenty of rain on the way next week.
Dave's erector fence dysfunction.
My meeting was what? There goes my money.
He took 10 grand, then did a run at current affair next.
Frankie said she's a fan of impersonation, but not of people impersonating Australia Post. That's why we've made all delivery updates available on the Oz Post app, so she'll know they're from us and us alone. You ask, we deliver at Australia Post.
We know owning a car these days isn't cheap. At GIO, you can save 10% of your car insurance premium when you quote and buy a new policy online with GIO's online discount. Get a quote today.
Making a connection from the very first glance. Integrating cutting-edge technology to see more clearly. Asking the right questions to provide the right care. Guiding your choice with understanding and trust. This is what we do when you visit our stores. This is what we mean by dedicated to everyday excellence. Book an eye test today at OPSM.
With Light and Easy, you're cooking less, eating better, and getting great results.
I've lost 43 kilos myself. Troy has lost 53 kilos. You don't even feel like you're on a diet because there's so much variety and so much flavour.
Enjoy healthy and delicious award-winning meals delivered to your door. No shopping, no cooking, no stress.
Being able to have more time for your family as well without being in the kitchen all the time cooking. So it's obviously another reason Light and Easy is just easy to continue with.
Live a healthier, better life with Light and Easy.
Something I'll tell you for sure. Not a lie, it's almost law. This Land Cruiser drives us home.
Toyota.
Minutes. You are the 4th person in the queue. You are the 5th person in the queue.
When your internet gives you lemons,
Shortest person in the queue. You are the worst person in the queue.
get Tangerine.
Win $1,000 worth of Lego. Shop at Toy World Lismore, Byron Bay or Ballina during Lego Masters and go in the draw to win $1,000 of Lego products. Plus, get a free gift with every purchase over 20. Only at Toy World Lismore, Byron Bay and Ballina.
Get ready to ride with end of financial year savings on Polaris off-road vehicles. Right now, save up to $5,000 on the legendary Polaris Ranger, one of Australia's best-selling off-road vehicles. With stock ready to go and a low-rate finance offer available, there's no need to wait. But hurry, these end of financial year deals end June 30 or while stocks last. Visit PolarisAustralia.com or head to your local Polaris dealer today. Polaris, think outside.
A help company would get people back on their feet, make complicated stuff simple, and even try to predict the unpredictable. So that's what we're doing. NRMA Insurance, a help company.
Heavy rain, intense winds and large surf could impact coastal New South Wales next week as a significant low pressure system develops off the coast with potential for an east coast low. Rainfall accumulations of 100 to 200 millimetres are possible between Monday and Tuesday next week across parts of the mid-north coast. Just a single day of torrential rain forecast for the northern rivers at this stage. Skies were generally cloud-free today due to a broad high circulating dry wind
winds across the nation's north and interior. Cloud on the New South Wales coast and brisk southerly winds is bringing the odd shower. Cloud in far north Queensland with moist winds is causing some showers. Tomorrow a high will bring another frosty morning and chilly day to much of the nation's southeast with isolated showers along the eastern coastal fringe. A cold front will bring gusty showers to southern to South Australia, Western Victoria and Tasmania. Cloudy today with some fog about, high chance of showers along the coastal fringe today, and we had some light winds. 17 degrees the top at Evans Head, 16 at Byron Bay, reaching 20 at Coolangatta and the Gold Coast. Partly cloudy tomorrow with a chance of morning fog in the north. There's a medium chance of showers, most likely in the evening, and light winds on the way tomorrow. Reaching 20 degrees for most areas across the region tomorrow, 21 for Grafton, 20 at Evans Head, 13 to 18 for Byron Bay, 21 for Tweed Heads, and 15 the top at Tenterfield. Coastal waters information for tomorrow seas at a metre with a 1.5 metre swell for the Gold Coast, 2 metres for the Byron Coast. The sun to rise at 20 to 7 and set at 5 p.m. And the 7-day outlook for Tweed Heads, heavy rain ramping up on Monday, a very high chance of showers and light winds starting to ease on Tuesday. For Ballina, 60 millimetres on Monday, 20 degrees the top on Tuesday, and for Lismore up to 50 millimetres forecast for Monday. And that is the NBN News for this Saturday. A current affair is coming up next. From all the news team here, enjoy your evening. Good night.
Hello, I'm Deb Knight. Welcome to A Current Affair. Vicky thought she'd done her research when she hired a local fence builder. She felt she was in safe hands and paid a $10,000 deposit. If only she knew what others knew about Dave.
There's no fence sitting with Vicky.
Solar-powered electric gate and a personnel gate where the mailbox is.
She's as direct as you get.
How high? Well, 5 foot.
Yep. The single mum who scrimped and saved to buy her own home.
Would look beautiful. Oh, absolutely. Would have kept my dog in too.
And just wanted a fence for her front yard.
You're very house proud, aren't you? No. Yes, you are. Yeah, I am. Because a fence finishes a house lot and it does add value to your house as well.
And you've worked so hard for this, haven't you?
Yeah. First thing that goes through my head, I worked 50 years for this.
She asked for 3 quotes and went with Dave Sorowski from Erector Fence, seen here working on another job. But 3 months after paying $10,000 to his business, Vicky's boundary is still bare.
He knew what he was doing, he was writing down, and then he actually asked me about the colour of the posts, and he brought out a little swatch of Colorbond colours, and I said, yep, I'd like that colour to match the fascia on the house.
He ticked every box.
Yeah, he did, absolutely. Came across as knowing what he was talking about.
That was March this year. Weeks later, Vicky had heard nothing, so she texted.
There's no response to that. Speaker.
And phoned.
Calling. You don't hear ringtone.
But Dave had disappeared.
There you go. Cannot connect to mobile network.
And he hadn't contacted you in the time being saying, I'm snowed under, I've got problems, I can't do the work, here's your money back.
Yeah, that's right.
So at almost 70 years old, Vicky took matters into her own hands.
I found his address. My 2 adult sons and I went out to see if we could knock on the door and say, hey, what's going on?
Where's my money?
Yeah. Well, where's the job? I want the job, not necessarily the money. And when we arrived at the address that I found, it was actually his next door neighbour's address.
Down the road, this was Danny's backyard. Fairy lights, archways and raised garden beds overlooking a sunset view. And this is what it looks like now, after her back fence and retaining wall built by Dave collapsed. When did it start coming down?
Probably within 6 months or so. It's hard to say, but like anytime we got any sort of weather event, we noticed that like the little brackets that were holding the aluminium paneling, it would just budge out just a little bit more.
And when you called him and asked him to come have a look at it, What was his response?
He looked at it once and essentially pointed to the other retaining wall and said, well, it's not on me.
Eventually, it all gave way in a landslide.
It was hanging so much that when the Queensland Make Safe team came out, they didn't know what to do. They lassoed some rope around it and some ratchet strapping and pegged it into the ground. They said, we hope that holds, but we're not optimistic.
So it was a safety hazard for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Could you use the space outside?
No, we were too scared to go out there.
Vicky and Danny aren't alone. Through social media, around 15 former customers of Dave have connected, and they're all making serious allegations against his business. Among their claims,
paid $12,000 deposit to buy supplies, materials. We are now out of pocket and no fence either.
He left my yard in a terrible mess. Rubbish scattered everywhere. Overall, spent $25,000 for a fence that now is falling over.
It's not just one mistake, it's a pattern. This has caused financial loss and emotional stress.
those allegations backed up by pitch.
Are lodging complaints with the QBCC, and if you've dealt with Dave or if you know where he is, please get in touch. She's the former footballer turned long-distance athlete who's spent the past 2 months running from one side of the country to the other for a very good cause. It's been a gruelling 3,800-kilometre journey from Perth to Sydney. And Fran Herndl is now on track to finish the epic run tomorrow. She's taken a break from the grind to speak to me now. Fran, hello to you. How are you feeling? You're nearly there, the finish line, it's close.
Hey, Deborah, thank you for having me. Yeah, the finish line is very close. Yeah, look, it's very cold, obviously in Katoomba at the moment. But yeah, super, super close to Sydney, and I'm just very, very excited to get to the end.
So you started the run 59 days ago in Perth. There are quicker ways to get to Sydney, you know, Fran. What's this all for?
Yeah, there are quicker ways. Because, you know, I sort of wish I'd taken that now, Deborah. But, yeah, obviously for a very, very important cause, domestic violence, which I think speaks to so many people in Australia at the moment. And, yeah, look, I just wanted to sort of go above and beyond and, yeah, raise extra awareness for domestic violence here in Australia.
And this is personal for you and your family, isn't it?
Oh, very, very personal. I mean, yeah, last year we found out my sister had been suffering in a domestic violence relationship. My mum has suffered from violence. It runs quite deep within the family. So, you know, a lot of people have been asking me how have I kept going, you know, even despite all the setbacks. And it's because it's so personal to me, and it means so much. And I carry my story and so many stories here in Australia, you know, across this beautiful country.
And have people been reaching out to you with their own stories while you've been on the road?
So many. Enough to bring me to tears, Deborah. I mean, I've had women pull over on the side of the road, just in tears, just saying thank you for you know, making me feel seen and heard. And, you know, I've suffered myself, and it's just been, I just feel so grateful. And those are the things that just sort of keep me going every day. There was a woman that stopped me on the way to Port Augusta, and she pulled over and just was in tears. And it was just, you then remember why you're doing it, because obviously my body has gone through so much pain, but then, you know, so many women in Australia at the moment are going through so much pain too.
So what is it that women escaping domestic violence need, and how will the money that you're raising along the way go to helping them out?
Yes, I'm running for a charity called Rise Up Australia. So they support families that, you know, are fleeing domestic violence. And, you know, it doesn't just, you know, stop when they leave their house. You know, obviously it's such a journey, and Rise Up plays such an important job. And on the ground charity, they take people from refuge into housing, and they fully furnish houses. So everyone's got a fresh start, and it costs them on average $6,500 to fully furnish a house. And look, Deborah, if they don't have somewhere safe to go, what happens then? They go back. So such important words that Rise Up Australia do. And I mean, the $1 million, $6,500 to fully furnish a house, you think about that, that's 164 houses and families that we could help here in Australia.
That's a phenomenal accomplishment for you, and as you say, it's kept you going along the way. It's not the first time, though, is it, Fran, that you've gone to extreme lengths for a good cause?
Yeah, so 2 years ago, I dribbled a soccer ball from the Gold Coast to Sydney during the FIFA Women's World Cup to help advocate for women in sport. You know, I believe that young girls should have the same opportunity through sport and be able to make a career out of it. And obviously being a former footballer myself, again, I just wanted to give back to the community, and it just fills my heart so much to be able to give back and help people where I can.
You're a machine. It's one thing to run from Perth to Sydney, but to dribble a soccer ball from Queensland to New South Wales, I can't imagine how many balls you lost along that way.
Yeah, you know, I mean, not to blow my own trumpet, I only used one ball, but it definitely got lost a few times along the way. I think my soccer skills definitely improved. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people ask me if I'd be dribbling a ball from Perth to Sydney, and I quickly shut that down with no. So, yeah, I mean, it's challenging enough. But, I'm just grateful that I'm able to go out and do these things and give back to the community.
And tell me about some of the challenges you've faced in this epic journey, because not everything's gone to plan, has it?
No, I mean, you can plan all day long for these things, and it just, you know, the plans can just go out the window. I mean, my Achilles went day 3. I had to go back to Perth, drive all the way back to Perth to get it assessed. And, the doctor told me, like, if you continue to run on your Achilles, it's going to rupture. So, again, I had to drop down to a walk. But I've always tried to find a solution in how I move forward, even if it's just one step at a time. I've experienced blisters like I've never experienced them before, which has got infected. I've had to get cut out and drained. There's just been so many setbacks along the way, Deborah. But, you know, I just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and I just said to myself, no matter how long this takes me, there are so many people that need help in Australia, and it's just kept me moving forward. So despite the setbacks, my team and I, we've just always found solutions to be able to move forward. And all the blisters I had on my feet, I mean, I even put a pair of slides on and taped them to my feet. That's how determined I was just to find a way forward, because it means a lot to me, this cause.
Yeah, well, you're an absolute machine. You deserve a really huge celebration when you get across that finish line. We'd better let you get back to it. You've got a run to finish. Good on you, Fran. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And next week we will bring you a current affairs special forum on domestic violence. We're getting together all the major players in one room to thrash out how to start solving what's been described as a national shame. More on that soon. It's often called the world's toughest job, and it's not getting any easier. Parenting in the digital age has thrown up a raft of new challenges that many parents are really struggling with. At the end of the day, though, there's no one size fits all. And when it comes to parenting, it's different strokes for different folks.
Being a parent is the hardest thing you can ever do, but it can also be the most rewarding thing you'll ever do.
I feel like I got the best family in the whole world, even like compared to like the Queen of England or something.
The modern world definitely is rushing children through childhood.
While you're here, you're wasting air.
Young people, we say that we've got it under control. We don't.
8 families, 8 very different parenting styles.
Do you let somebody take a naked photo of you?
No.
I'm fearful to what that message tells my son. Everybody in the room is alarmed, and I'm alarmed.
Parental guidance is back, and A Current Affair is being given a behind-the-scenes look.
We have opinions flying left, right and centre, and it's good conversation.
From the active parents who value sports over school.
We don't believe in homework. I'll tell the teacher straight up that we don't, the kids won't be doing homework.
The kids got too much on.
And the life school parents.
We live in a caravan and travel Australia, so we use everyday experiences to teach our kids and also giving them freedom at the same time.
to the authoritative parents.
We have high expectations on children. We set clear rules and boundaries, but in the meantime, we're highly responsive to their needs and demands.
I always let the children know whenever they have a boyfriend, bring him home for us to have a look first.
Parental guidance digs into the biggest challenges facing families today: mental health, body image, social pressures, and screen time.
When I grew up in a household, I had unlimited access to screen time. And to be honest, it affected me as a person. It made me like antisocial. It took me away from that world. And we made a decision together that when we have kids, we're not going to do that.
No, I think a lot of them see device as a cop-out or an easy way out of parenting, and that's not the case. So I'm looking forward to rebutting that.
Courtney and John are pro-tech parents.
Funny face, darling. Pro-tech parenting is about educating your children through the use of technology.
I work in the industry every day, so I see the rapid growth in tech.
Just 1 second, we'll set up the camera first. And I'm the content creator. Look at the camera. Say hi.
Can I ask, do you give screen time to avoid your kids?
When I have to work. If I'm there editing and they're trying to talk to me during that time, then I would let them go on their device.
The screens is frying the children's mind.
The thing about the show and why people love it is because we all want to be the best possible parent that we can be. And we all at times think that we're having great wins, and we also have things when we know we could just be better.
The other thing that we really see is this incredible vulnerability where parents are willing to say, I'm a bit of a mess, but I'm happy to sit in front of the entire nation and let them say whatever they will about my family and about my parenting, because I love my kids and I want people to see that.
As Ali, Justin and the families explore tough topics with the help of experts, one question reigns supreme: how can we better protect our children?
If you're unfamiliar with this technology, take a breath. This is confronting content.
So it's playing with the person's mind.
It's really dangerous. I can see that being something we really need to talk to the kids about.
These are the conversations Australia needs to have, and it all begins on Monday.
There'll be 3 generations in the living room watching the show.
Do you think grandparents watch it to be judgy?
I have no idea, but they love it. Viewers see themselves in the families who are in the room. And there's something just beautiful about that.
Yeah, they're important conversations to have, and they start on Monday night at 7:30, straight after A Current Affair on 9 and 9 Now. Still to come, there's no business like shoe business. Just ask Steve and his loyal customers who saved the day.
I was very overwhelmed, yeah, because I'm just a little shoe repair shop.
Australia's nightlife nightmare.
He assaulted me on shift in the bar.
It's just gone on for too long.
We know owning a car these days isn't cheap. At GIO, you can save 10% of your car insurance premium when you quote and buy a new policy online with GIO's online discount. Get a quote today.
Making a connection from the very first glance. Integrating cutting-edge technology to see more clearly. Asking the right questions to provide the right care. Guiding your choice with understanding and trust. This is what we do when you visit our stores. This is what we mean by dedicated to everyday excellence. Book an eye test today at OPSM.
With Light and Easy, you're cooking less, eating better, and getting great results. Whether you want to lose weight with our 5 or 7 day Jumpstart Go meal plans, or you just want to enjoy more free time and a healthier life with ready-to-eat, delicious, healthy meals starting from around $8.50 each, Light and Easy's got you covered with flexible options to achieve your goal. Enjoy Australia's best ready-made meal delivery service as awarded by CanStar Blue. Visit lighandeasy.com.au today.
It's time to start your business. Time to get customers. Time to make your future now. Create a website in minutes. How? GoDaddy. Coding? Nah. But all that writing? Nope. AI. Done, built, up and running. You have what it takes. Now take it to the next level. Create a professional website in minutes with GoDaddy.
Let's get to work.
Start for free at godaddy.com.au.
The end of financial year is always the start of something special at Toyota. And with a wide range of vehicles in stock this end of financial year, the feeling starts right here at your local Toyota dealership. Toyota.
You don't need to trade in your day job to help the community in the Army Reserve. Just give from one night a week, 1 weekend a month, or a few weeks a year. Find a role at a base near you.
Very special.
Tomorrow only, Tank World's biggest sale of the year. Save up to $500 off already discounted prices on selected water tanks from our best-selling range. One day only. Once they're gone, they're gone. This Sunday only at Tank World.
Harvey Norman half-yearly clearance ends Monday. Save $250 on this Aussie-built Westinghouse oven. Save $520 on Dyson Gen 5 Detect Stick Vac. Save over $300 on the massive JBL Party Box Ultimate. Best prices guaranteed. Ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
You haven't shopped around until you've tried Yui. Huh? Yeah, you should shop around if you're not happy with your car insurance. Or your barber.
For award-winning customer satisfaction, make the change to Yui. You insured.
Best sheds up to 40% cheaper. Triple garage is $8,600. 4-car garage $7,250.
Best Sheds 20% off sale is on right now.
Call Best Sheds on 1-800 15 17 18.
This winter, create your comfort retreat with 20% off the entire range of Stressless. Combining comfort, timeless design and superior quality, Stressless supports your most important moments. Because sometimes success starts with a pause.
Look out, London. Our superstars are ready to unleash. And no one's safe.
Oh, how good is that? Right out of the top drawer.
Unbelievable. Wimbledon. Showtime. On 9 now. And Stan Sport.
Welcome back. It's the kind of shop that takes you back in time. An old-fashioned cobbler that's still standing thanks to loyal customers who couldn't bear to see it close down. So they banded together to help their local shoemaker get back on his feet.
The shop's still standing because of the customers and the people that are around me.
A stitch or two, a spot of polish and a brush of glue. Steve Duncan's in his element.
This is your home?
No, it's my sanctuary, yeah.
A place where shoes line the shelves. There's a home for every jar and tool, and not a computer in sight.
It looks a bit cluttered, but I know where everything is.
It's the proud cobbler and his shop. The customers saved.
I never thought the customers would get behind me like they did, yeah.
He's a legend and he helps people. That's the main thing.
Okay, tomorrow afternoon.
Brilliant.
You could walk past and miss it. A tiny shoemaker in Melbourne's inner south that once inside takes you way back.
Yeah, a lot of people come in and smell it and they remind them of their dad or their grandfather.
For the people of Caulfield, their cobbler Steve is an institution.
Thanks very much.
Okay, keep smiling.
Okay, same to you.
One they're not letting go of anytime soon.
I like the shop. I like the atmosphere. It's nice and it's old-fashioned.
Over Christmas, business slowed. So much so, the 69-year-old was 3 months behind in his rent.
Doesn't sound like much, but it works out to be nearly $8.5 grand, $9 grand.
The store that stood for 40 years, 9 under Steve's reign, looks set to shut, like many others around him.
The whole strip, there's no one in it. There's no one in any of the shops down there.
He did everything to hang on, even sold his cherished motorbike to pay the debt. But
the lease sign come up and, yeah, then customers started coming in and going, we don't want you to leave.
Just as he was about to get the boot, some foot traffic saved the day.
I was very overwhelmed, yeah, because I'm just a little shoe repair shop and there's millions of shops that are closed.
One after the other, Steve's customers donated and more than $4,000 was raised.
The greatest thing is I could pay that and catch up on the rent.
Yeah. So do you think you're here to stay?
Well, I've got no say.
Months later, and they're still filling his pockets.
There, Steve, that's a bit towards the rent.
Thank you very much.
And that's not a lot for a legend that you are.
Wow, thank you.
I hope to see you many more decades here, mate.
Loyal customer, Mark.
When he runs out, he can come and tap me on the shoulder because there's not many people like him around today. He's a genuine person. That's the point.
He's a really nice man and he does a good job every time.
Whatever you give out, it comes back tenfold. I spend a lot of time here, and because it's a hobby, it's not a job. So that's how you keep coming back, because it's great.
Getting his hands dirty is Steve's own version of
peace. It's just peace.
His own little slice of heaven, and it's here to stay.
And thank goodness for that. It's great that good old-fashioned service and customer loyalty still exists somewhere. Coming up, it's time to say enough. The national shame of domestic violence. Why is it rising and how can it be stopped?
I can't stand and say nothing anymore.
Owning a car these days isn't cheap. At GIO, you can save 10% of your car insurance premium when you quote and buy a new policy online with GIO's online discount. Get a quote today.
Will historians one day write books about this era of peak chicken? Probably not. But that says more about historians than it does these wings. McWings are here at Macca's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Frankie said she's a fan of impersonation, but not of people impersonating Australia Post. That's why we've made all delivery updates available on the AusPost app, so she'll know they're from us, and us alone. You ask, we deliver at Australia Post.
If we took a holiday, took some time to celebrate, oh, it would be so
Mermaid Waters. Tickets online or at the door.
Running a small business can be a real pressure cooker, but it doesn't have to be. Stay cool with Westpac Small Business Solutions and keep your cash flow flowing.
What a hotel. And only $370 a night on my favorite site.
What? You didn't check Trivago? I got mine for $250.
Check Trivago to compare prices and save up to 30%.
You didn't check Trivago?
Hotel Trivago.
Turn your old water heater into a smart saving with SolarHeart. Get a $1,000 trade-in when you upgrade to a SolarHeart Solar Hot Water or Power Store system, or $400 off a heat pump. Get smart. Get SolarHeart.
Win $1,000 worth of Lego. Shop at Toy World Lismore, Byron Bay or Ballina during Lego Masters and go in the draw to win $1,000 of Lego products. Plus, get a free gift with every purchase over 20. Only at Toy World Lismore, Byron Bay and Ballina.
Experience quality independent living at Marion Grove, just south of Coffs Harbour and close to Sunny Sawtell. With beautiful gardens and surrounded by bushland, Marion Grove offers a safe, secure and vibrant community. Sawtell Catholic Care, we care.
Harris Scarf Big Stock Take Sale is on now. Save 40 to 60% off cookware and kitchenware, 40 to 60% off air fryers by Smith & Noble, plus 40 to 70% off vacuums. Sale ends soon. Exclusions apply. Harris Scarf. Great brands, great prices.
Your home is precious, so are the things inside. And keeping them safe shouldn't cost a fortune. Quote and buy your home and contents insurance online with GIO, and you can save 10% on your first year premium. Get a quote today.
It's the 40 Winks end of financial year sale. Enjoy up to 50% off mattresses and up to 30% off furniture, plus an extra 20% off selected floor stock in-store only for a limited time. Hurry, sale ends June 30. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
Well, girls and boys, it's been another very exciting day for our friend Big Dog. Lots of adventure and fun for everyone. But now it's time for Big Dog to say goodnight. Good night, Big Dog. Good night, girls and boys. Sweet dreams.
Next week, an A Current Affair special event.
I can't stand and say nothing anymore. Enough is enough. We need action.
Change is coming.
Don't miss that next week. And that's our program. If you have a story to tell, get in touch. We love hearing from you. I'm Deb Knight. Thanks for your company. From the team, enjoy your evening. Good night.